is Chong Kaushan. I'm from BITZ FTNK.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Aiman Ashikin binti Nur Azrin and my metric number is B0319225.
Hello, I am Logan from BITZ S1G2.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Anik bin Abdul Razak. I'm from BITZ.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarah Shira binti Kara Azman and my metric number is B0319100494.
Hi, I'm Aiman and today I'm going to demonstrate on how to create VLANs, how to assign ports to VLANs and how to create trunk ports. Okay, so the question asked to do it on the HQ network, which is, this is the HQ router, so anything here is the HQ network. Okay, I'm going to show it on this one. So click on switch number 2. Where is it? Enter configuration terminal and then we're going to create 3 VLANs. So VLAN 10, name red, and then VLAN 11, name orange, VLAN 12, name blue. Okay, so that's how you create VLANs. So first we're going to do the red one. So interface FA 0/1 switch port access VLAN 10, which is red, and then no shut stands for no shutdown, and then exit. So int fa0/2 until 4. Oh, sorry. int range 2 until 4. VLAN orange, which is 11. No shutdown and exit. Okay, so how do you check? Okay, put and, the comment and then put in show VLAN brief. This is how you verify. So we created 3 VLANs right here. This one is the one that I created earlier, in the 99, VLAN 99. Okay, so red, orange and blue. Okay, so this one, these are the ports that is connected to the switch. So we're going to do trunk. I'm going to show you one example of trunk. Okay, so how do we do trunk? Trunk is when you have a connection between switch and a switch, or a switch and a router. So we're going to do switch to switch. So you go and configure terminal. You put in there int for this one, 05. So FA0/5. Then you put here switch port mode trunk. Okay, and then you put switch port trunk native VLAN 99. So this one right here, native VLAN. Okay, then enter, no shut, and exit. So if this is how you see the VLANs that you created, so how do you see the trunks that you created? So you put in show interface trunk. It will show you that port 05 that you did just now, this one, has already been done into a trunk. And that's how you do it.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nafar binti Azman. I will do my part is requirement 5. Configure router with suitable routing protocol and access control list (SCL). Today I will share about how the router configured. So this is router HQ and router branch and router branch 2. So I will explain how I configure the router in SCL. So this is HQ router. Okay. This is SCL that I configured in router. That means the HQ host, which is host rate cannot ping to blue host. And this is branch 1's command line, which is SCL that I configured in branch 1 router. So this is SCL. Also in branch 2, this is branch 2 where the SCL command line. So I will show that PC from the blue PC from the blue host cannot ping purple host cannot ping HQ host. Just I'll show you guys. So this is how you do now. Destination host unreachable means purple host cannot ping the blue host, but it can access the web server. So this is the website. Also to the PC in the red host. Just I can configure the purple host. I think I salah pin 103.
So I will continue on requirement 6. I need to configure DHCP server for this network. So the first requirement is all host addresses must be configured using DHCP server except from Orange network. So the second one is red server will assign addresses from red VLAN. So I will go on red server first. So we need to configure DHCP. Go to service DHCP. So here we can see that I already configured the DHCP server for red network. So it will start from 192.168.1.131. The subnet is 255.255.240. So the maximum number of users is 13. So I will click save. So we need to verify whether the PC on the red network will get the IP from the DHCP server or not. So here we can see that the DHCP server already signed IP to the host from red network. So I will continue on the blue server. So go to service DHCP. So here we can see that I already configure the blue one. So it will start from 192.168.1.155. The subnet is 255.255.255.248. The maximum number of users is 5. So I will click save. So we need to verify whether the PC get the IP or not. So we go to B1. So we can see that the DHCP already assigned the IP for this host. So I will continue on the last DHCP server, which is purple server. So go to service DHCP. So here we need to configure two DHCP for two network, which is green and purple. So we go on purple first. It will start from 172.1.0.3. The subnet is 255.192.0. The maximum number of users is 512. I will click save. So the second one is for green network. It will start from 172.1.64.2. The subnet is 255.255.240.0. The maximum number of users is 512. I will click save. But here I need to configure the DHCP relay agent from branch 1 router for the green network. So I will go on this server, enable, go to configure. So I need to use this fast internet F00. So we use IP helper address. So I will put the DHCP IP number 2. So I will end, copy, run, start. So I will save. So we need to verify whether the green get the IP from purple server or not. So here we can see the DHCP already assigned the IP for host on green network. So that's all from my requirement. Thank you.
Now let's continue with the requirement 7, which is the configure web server, the DNS server and the mail server. So for the configuration of web server, let's go to the web server and then go to the desktop and then go to the IP address to set the IP address of the web server. So I'm gonna set it as 192.168.1.150 and then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.248 and then the default gateway is 192.168.1.145 and finally the DNS server is 172.1.0.2. So once created that, let's go to the services and make sure the HTTP service is turned on. Once done that, let's go to the DNS service and go to the desktop and IP configuration to set the IP address of the DNS server. So my IP address of the DNS server is 172.1.0.2. The subnet mask is 192.555.192.0 and the default gateway is 172.1.0.1. Finally the DNS server is 172.1.0.2. And after done that, go to the services, go to the DNS service and make sure the DNS service is on. If not, turn on the DNS service and create a new domain name. Since my group name is group1, I'm gonna create it as group1.epam.edu.my and the IP address is the IP address of the web server, which is 192.168.1.150. Once done that, click add. So now the new domain has been created in the DNS server. And then once done that, let's try to verify if the web page in the web server can be viewed in other hosts or not. So now let's go to the desktop, go to the web browser, then click the domain name we have created just now. You can see the web page we have created has been appeared. So we can also enter the IP address of the web server to view the web page. So in this case, the IP address of the web server is 192.168.1.150 and as you can see, the web page is still visible. So it means the web server is working. So now let's go to the configuration of mail server. So for the configuration of the mail server, we need to configure the IP address for the mail server. Since the mail server and web server is in the same server, we just let it be the IP address of the server. So now let's go to the services, then go to the email, then make sure the email service is turned on. So now create a new domain name, which is mail.com. I'm gonna create this mail.com. And then the user, I'm gonna create two users, J2, and the password is also J2, and J3, the password is also J3. So create the user for each of the hosts in the network. Keep it the same method to create users for other hosts too. So once created that, now let's configure the mail to the host. Since I have created the user J2 and J3, now configure mail to the host J2 and J3. So now go to the configure mail, clear, and then put the name, then the email address j2@mail.com, then the incoming mail server is mail.com, and the outgoing mail server is also mail.com, And then the username is J2, the password is also J2, and click save. So do the same for J3. Go to the desktop, the email, go to the configure mail, enter the name, and the email address is j3@mail.com. And then the incoming server is mail.com. The outgoing is also mail.com. Mail.com, and the username is J3, and the password is also J3. And click save. So once done that, go to the DNS server and click the DNS service and put the domain name that we created in the mail server, and then put the IP address of the mail server 2.168.1.150. So as we can see, since the mail server and web server is in the same server, the IP address should be the same. So once done that, now let's verify the mail server is working or not. So go to the email and try to compose a letter to the J3. So j3@mail.com. Gonna put it as hi. Send. So as we can see, the send success message has been appeared. So now let's try to see if the message we send has been received by J3 or not. So go to the mail in J3 and click receive. As we can see, the message hi, the sent by J2 has been received to the host J3, which means the mail server is working perfectly. So now let's continue with the requirement 8, which is to customize the homepage. So as we saw just now, the web page that we viewed just now can be customized by clicking into the web server and the HTTP. Now we can insert any images we want by clicking the import, and let's wait. By clicking the import and import any files from our device. So once done importing the images, we need to go to the index.html and we need to change the interface of the web page, the homepage, by entering the HTML codes. So here I have created my HTML code. So let's try run the HTML code I have made. So write the HTML codes in the index.html and then click save. Then click yes. So now let's try to see if the homepage we have changed the interface of the homepage we have done this can be seen or not. So as we did just now, enter our domain name, which is group1.upenn.edu.my. So as we can see, the interface of the homepage, also the web page, is changed when we change the HTML code. Thank you.